Well, thank you for being here. First media day for me, so it's an exciting time and an exciting time to kind of tip off basketball season. I'd like to thank Brian and really welcome him. He's just getting here too, and thank him and his staff for putting this on for us. They do a lot of things for all of our sports, not just for men's and women's basketball and for swimming and diving. They're responsible for letting everybody know how things are going here, so thank them. I also like to thank the media. Had a chance to visit with some guys today, and our TV and radio stations and newspapers that are here. I want to get to know all you guys and just know that we're available to you. We love having you around. You're welcome to any practices, and you're welcome to be involved with us at any time. A couple people I'd like to thank Dave Scott for allowing us to have the chance to build this program, to show the confidence in us and to allow us to come in and make changes. Dr. Bentz, you can't have a more important person on campus than have your president love athletics, and that's something that is special here. If you have that, you always have an opportunity and a chance to make things better. We're trying to change culture. You know, you heard Coach talk a little bit about that, and that's really what we've tried to do since we've got here is change culture, and it's gone quickly. You know, we're already in the basketball season. It seems like I was just standing up here for the press conference being introduced, and now all of a sudden we're at the season. But we've made a lot of changes in the short time that we've been here. We just want to be involved in a great program, and that's what all of our other programs are here. We have great athletics. At West Florida, we have great programs, and we want to be one of those programs. We want to be talked about the same way they talk about the great programs that are already here. So I want to give a shout out to our women's volleyball team for doing so great this year, for leading the league, and for men's and women's soccer for advancing in the tournament. That's the type of success that we're looking to try to get to. So congratulations to those teams. I think it starts with having a quality coaching staff. We've been able to bring in 2 quality guys. Brian Benator was at Young Harris College, so Brian has Division II experience, great recruiting ties, and has already been able to get us on some very good players for the future. David Pruitt, a former player. David played and was one of the all-time great three-point shooters to play for us at Lander University in South Carolina, played overseas in Germany, and is back now coaching. Is a good young coach. And we start with those guys, but it also takes some other folks. Robert Aldridge, Kent Morgan, they're part of our coaching staff, in my opinion. Those guys work with these players every day in the weight room. We're already in there at 6:30 this morning, and they're doing a terrific job with those guys. Another part of your staff is your training staff. Arnold Gamber and Matt Hyder, those guys are busy, way busier than you want them to be. I remember back when we played, we didn't have trainers. I think I liked it better then, where nobody got hurt because you didn't have anybody to go see. So, but today, that's just kind of how it is. Guys get hurt, they go see the trainers. So we're glad to have them around. Patrick Ryan, academic coach. You know, that's a guy that's awfully important, and you got to have that guy to help you, being a great liaison between you and the faculty and the folks up on campus. And women's basketball. Stephanie has brought us in and helped us. Her staff has helped us. Her players have been terrific, and sometimes that's not the case. I can promise you, men's and women's basketball don't always get along. So it's important that is a good thing, and it's been a great thing so far. So I'm very thankful for your guys' help. High expectations. We have high expectations for our players. We have high expectations for our program. Academically, we want to graduate guys. We want them to move forward and do well. On the basketball court, we want to play for championships. But we also want to be consistent with how we do that and build success, not just winning, but be very successful with how we do it. And then socially, we want to have good people. We just want to have good people that we know are going to go on to be successful. We want to win championships, but we really want to have champion people. I love our motto, building champions for life. I think that's a great way to put it, and that's something that we want out of our basketball program. Changes you've already seen or will see. Some of the uniforms are laying on your tables, and we changed uniforms this year. We've changed our locker room. I invite you to come and see it. We've changed that. We've changed our offices. We're trying to make a bunch of changes that you'll notice. Preseason conditioning, 12:01, a minute after midnight. First time we're allowed to do anything, we were in Navy SEALs training. They love that. That was interesting. The comments I heard were things like, "Never done that before, Coach." When we're doing push-ups in the sprinklers on the football field at midnight and things like that. So they can definitely see a change a minute into the first time we're allowed to work out. Putting them on a climbing wall. in the HLS. Some of those guys are scared of heights, so you talk to them about overcoming fear and doing something they didn't think they could do, and all of them did it. So I thought that was a neat thing. We put them in there with a cycling class one day, and a little girl just whipped their tail. It was great, and they're having to work through a struggle. So we showed them something different there. We put them in the pool. We did water aerobics with them, jumping and running and relays, and guys cheating and figuring out how to overcome cheating and all that type of stuff. Running on a track at 6 a.m. It's tough. There's nothing easy about running on a track. There's just nothing easy about it, and guys did really well with that. Individual workouts, getting those guys in there early season and working out for 40 minutes at a time and pushing them. Work ethic and winning attitude, these guys have that. They've done a terrific job with it, and we're glad that they're here, and we're glad we're able to work with them. Challenges, many people have asked me, tell me about your team, coach. Tell me how you think you're going to be this year. I was just asked a second ago by Dan. I said, I don't know. I don't really have a great answer for you. However, I can say this. If character matters, we got a chance. We got a chance to have a really successful year. We're certainly on the right track. I think we've got very good kids and very high character. And last night, I'm reading this book, You Win in the Locker Room First. And I'm reading last night, and this is what I would say to people that ask me about our team. Character drives talent toward greatness. If you have people who are humble, hungry, hardworking, honest, dedicated, selfless, loyal, passionate, and accountable, they will be the kind of people who develop their talent and make the right decisions to benefit themselves and the team. Character guides and drives your team members to be the best and bring out the best in others. That's how I describe our team. How good are we? I'm not sure, but I know we got really, really good guys that are working hard. You hear coaches talk about how great of guys they have, and sometimes they're lying. I can promise you, because I've been around teams that didn't have great guys. We've got good guys, and they're working hard. We got great character guys. We have 7 returning players. Lendward Griffin, coming back as a graduate student, has been terrific. He's going to be a really good player in this league, really hard worker. Jason Laatsch, and you'll hear from Jason. Jason, we've pushed him over to point guard, running our team a little bit, knows how to play, coach's son, kind of figures it out. D'Angelo LeGrier, another guy that, as I took this job, people talked to me about D'Angelo and thought he was going to be a really good player in our league. Mario Stramaglia comes back. Mario was out last year, but he's a Division I transfer. That is a very, very competitive guy on the floor. Justin Williams. And Justin is a unique guy. He's a guy that just brings it every day, and he's a guy that is just way, way smarter than his coaches. He does stuff that we went over and we looked at his science project this summer. He started explaining it to us, and we just said, stop, Justin, just don't even go any further with it, because you got no chance to explain it to the 3 of us. But a special guy to have on your team. And then we got 7 new guys. The 7 new guys come in. We feel like some of those guys can make some things happen for us this year. Jelani Pruitt will be one of the most athletic players probably in the league. Austin Summerfield is a very, very active 6'7" kid that can play on the perimeter or in the post. Sam Burt is a big body that puts his body to you and his physical down inside. Mike Williams, very athletic, quick kid that can make plays. So we've got some pretty good newcomers, and then we have 3 freshmen. And here's the thing with freshmen. Remember talking about trainers a little bit ago? I look over the other day, all 3 of them are hurt. All 3 freshmen sitting over on the clock. So that's great. You guys got to get well. But I think we got 3 good freshmen. The Benson kid out of Memphis is going to be a terrific point guard. Got really good skills. Brian Shalafo out of Gainesville, Florida. 6'5", 6'6" wing player that can really shoot the ball. And then Jordan Bates is about 6'7", that can play inside or outside. So 3 good freshmen I think we have a chance to bring along. We're trying to create chemistry. We're trying to create care about our program, about each other. And the thing I talked to our team about the other day was getting a winning swagger about them. Going on the floor, expecting to win. Not just participating, not just being involved in the game, but expecting to win the game. And we got to have a swagger. When you go on the road, whether you're at home, there's got to be a swagger and an attitude about you when you play. These guys bring it every day. There's no complaining. We'll practice tonight at 6:30. We'll practice tomorrow morning at 6:15. So that means they're going to get off the floor tonight at 9 p.m. We're back in the gym tomorrow morning at 6:15. We do that twice a week right now because of class schedules. Haven't heard one guy complain about it since we did it, since we started practicing. So that tells you a little bit about our team. These guys work. Despite our schedule, I think they do a terrific job of coming in and bringing it every day, listening and working at it. And because of that, we got a chance to grow and get better. Question marks, right now I'd say leadership, not knowing who's going to step forward. We got some guys that are thinking about it, but leadership is a difficult thing to get kids to do today because everyone wants to be liked. And sometimes as a leader, you're not liked, and you got to make some guys mad. So we're kind of waiting on that to happen. And then the other thing is just toughness, just the toughness to, and people think toughness means going out and hit somebody. That's not what toughness is to us. Toughness is having the courage to set a good screen or take a charge or get on somebody or tell somebody when they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. All those types of things come into toughness. And I think we're developing that, but it's taken a little bit of time. We've had 3 tough scrimmages, or we'll have 3 tough scrimmages in the preseason. Start of the season's next week. We go to Valdosta to play in an exempt classic. The Division II teams are allowed to play in. We'll play Benedict the first day. Benedict is picked to win their division, and then we go to Fort Valley State the next day for the second part of that classic. First home game's November 23rd against Spring Hill, and then we get to play our first conference game. And we start out easy as we play Huntsville, who is picked to win the league in our very first home game on the conference schedule. That's who we have first, so we'll find out real quick kind of where we're at. But it's been a great preseason. It's been a really good preseason. We've had great early practices. I think we've got a chance to continue to move our program forward, and that's what we're going to try to do. So we thank you for being here, and we'll open it up now to any questions.
Both players were there any points during whether it's doing push-ups in the sprinklers or any of the other Navy SEALs type stuff that said, man, this is nuts, or anything like that?
No, multiple times, it's it's the first time ever doing that, so it was a good experience, like I've never done nothing like that before, so doing it was a big eye-opener. Like it let us know that he was serious about winning this year, so.
Yeah, it's definitely strange because when you think basketball conditioning, you don't think of cycling or jumping in a pool or doing military stuff. So it was a good experience for everybody, and it brought everybody close together in the preseason.
Kind of touch on it, lead to is what do you think you might have gotten out of that when you look back on it now?
I would have to say just encouraging each other to keep pushing each other to keep working, no matter how tough it may be. Just keep working. Everybody's out here doing the same thing. So we're all out here for a purpose, and that's to get better and become close as a team. So
yeah, I'd say the togetherness aspect of it just brought everybody closer together.
Let me tell you how that started, Dan. They were standing out in front of the field house, and the 3 coaches ran around the field house and ran right past them and just said, come on. So they follow us, and we go straight to the pool. And they all thought I was absolutely crazy because I jump in the pool, fully clothed, shoes and everything. They're just kind of looking around. I said, let's go. Everybody in. So we get in the pool, get across, go straight to the sand volleyball court. Now we're on our stomachs crawling across the sand volleyball court. So now they're all nasty. And we did a whole bunch of things like that for about an hour. And you talk about having to work through some things and bringing them together and guys having to help each other. Yeah, that was really the purpose of it. And they did a good job with it.
Coach, out of the newcomers, it sounds like you think Pruitt might have the biggest impact. Why do you think that, and what's kind of special about
Well, he's just so athletic. I mean, he's athletic. He's a guy who can go make plays. He still has to figure out when to go and when to whoa, but he's still a guy that's pretty athletic and going to make – something's going to happen, good or bad when he gets it, and we got to get it to where it's more good than bad. But he's a guy that the fans will like. He's a guy that can go dunk it and do some things that maybe some other guys can't do, but he's got a chance to be a pretty good player for us.
Coach, when you look at your team right now and the size, 6'7", really your biggest guy, is that more of the style of what you're going to run up and down the floor, keeping it to a team that can get up and not one of those guys who's going to be slowing you down?
Well, we want to get up and down the floor, that's for sure. I mean, we want to play as fast as we can play efficiently. We'll get up and down the floor. We'll pick up and press and pressure some defensively. We'll trap some defensively. But really, we'd like to have a couple 6'9s. That'd be nice. It just didn't happen that late in the recruiting period, but that's kind of our focus for next year is to find maybe a bigger guy that can still run and still do some of the things our 6'7s can do. So we'd love to do that. And talking to other folks in the league, it sounds like we're big enough, though, to compete in the post. So that's a good thing. I was worried about that, but I think we're going to be okay down there. We've got 4 very solid post players that there's not a whole lot difference between one or the other.
Both players, again, you went through, last year was obviously very difficult from a numbers standpoint. I mean, there were times you didn't have enough guys really to have a full practice with injuries and whatnot. How is maybe the whole attitude different coming in this year with the full slate and kind of a fresh start?
Well, Well, I would say with just having a full roster and being able to practice. I mean, we can compete more. You know, like last year we had some struggles with practicing like just 4 against 5 and things like that. So now since we have a full roster, we can compete against each other and get each other better. And I know that's one thing we kind of lacked last year. We didn't have enough players, so we really couldn't improve our game during practice. So having a full roster and having people that can compete against each other and like push each other to get better, that's one of the like higher points we have this year.
How's this team different, Jason, do you think?
Really, we just have 7 new players. So, I mean, each player is going to bring something different. So I think just that alone makes the team different than last year to this year. So everyone has their skill. Everyone can bring something to the table, and I think that's the biggest difference.
Jeff, there's some significant rules changes to the men's game and the women's game this year. The men, the shot clock, they've done something to the 5-second. Can you just talk about what impact, were you in favor of that shot clock change? What impact is it going to have?
Well, I didn't think it would be as much of an impact as it has shown to be in our couple scrimmages. You go from running offense to getting to 28 seconds and still having 7 seconds to make a play to now you get to 23 seconds and you're in that same situation. So it does speed you up a little bit. And now you're not going to be able to come down and just run offense. You better have some quick hitters late in shot clocks to try to get shots. Something we'll really start working on for the next week and a half is situational type things like that. But that it is going to have an impact. 5-second count, probably not quite as much of an impact, but I do think the 30-second shot clock will have some. And it'll be interesting to see how teams adjust to that, but it's going to make you play a little bit quicker.
And for the players, that shot clock, what do you feel like it's going to do to the game? Are we going to see more 3-point attempts, do you think, or less because of this speed and because of that clock?
Well, I think it just depends on the style of play. Well, with us, it can go either more threes or more inside scoring. So it just depends on, I guess, the situation. Like it might be we might be able to get the ball to the court quick and get a post feed and score inside, or it might take a while for us to get into our offense. Then we have to take a 3-pointer. So I feel like it can go either both ways.
And what do you feel like it's going to do the game?
We've already had 2 scrimmages this year, and honestly, I haven't really seen much of a difference. But I guess if you just think about it, I guess more shots, more quicker. So I guess shot totals will probably go up more.
We just the idea through this situation before, but when it comes to trying to predict and to evaluate your team, how different is it to have these scrimmages and then also to get into that first month of the year and sort of see where you guys are at?
Well, the scrimmages really help you. I mean, because you're not playing against somebody that knows what you just called. So you have an idea if you're executing things well or not. We've been able to scrimmage a junior college team, a team out of the Peach Belt, and we'll have another Peach Belt team this coming week. So kind of 3 different styles of teams, which is something we looked at when we decided who to scrimmage. You scrimmage a junior college team, it's probably going to be up tempo and pretty quick, and you scrimmage a team like Columbus, then they're going to play a bunch of athletes and run at you and trap you and press you a little bit. And this week we're going to play a team that's going to play in half court and pound it down inside. So we're going to see 3 different styles of play, and we don't worry as much about what they're doing right now as how we handle what they're doing. So it's going to be a good challenge for us to kind of see where we're at and then get into that first weekend. And those games are a little bit tougher because you don't have much information on them, but they don't have much information on you either. So you got to go in and play it and make adjustments on the fly. And then as you get 3 or 4 games in, you start getting more video, and then you can kind of figure out how to game plan a little bit more.